welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET now. It's time for our Spend with TMS segment, and we decided to take up the issue of flying during these very tumultuous times, which has been the case for the last 1 year. The government has raised the lower cap on airfares, and with the way fuel prices had recently been moving, I suppose it's not surprising. So we decided to dissect a bit more on whether airfare prices will continue to go higher, and which are the countries that India has, the fly arrangement with. Ajay Awtaney of livefromalounge.com joins us now on the show. Ajay, thanks so much for taking out time. So to start with, what has been the revision in the airfare caps? What sort of a rise can we expect in airfares?
Hi, Mawina. Thank you for having me over again. The latest revisions are more to do with the fact that fuel prices are inching up. ATF is becoming pricier. So what the government permitted airlines to do was the lower, they had back in May 2020 imposed a lower cap on fares and an upper cap on fares. The lower cap has been kind of permitted to go up by 5%. And the number of tickets that can be sold between the bands have on various price points has been changed over a period of time, not just in the last week, but over a period of time. So as a result, tickets can be sold more in line with what is the current operational expense on a flight as compared to earlier, where you had to stick with the guidelines that the government had ordered in May 2020. So we're still operating only at 80% of capacity. But yes, tickets have started to inch upwards as compared to how they were when the restrictions were lifted in May 20.
So do you think that, given the fact that jet fuel prices are, now in these high levels, do you think that we're going to see higher airfare prices as well? It's going to be a more common feature perhaps this summer?
I firmly believe, at this point of time, we are not seeing high airfares. And that is because most flights are going perhaps at 70-80% occupancy at this point of time. Obviously, you'll see flights which are going 100% as well, because past few days was festive rush. But overall, flights are at about 70-80%. So you're not going totally on selling a last ticket in Bombay, Delhi at, let's say, 13,500 rupees of sorts. Mostly tickets are selling maybe on 700, 800 mile routes. They're selling at, let's say, about 5,000 or 6,000 rupees, which is pretty reasonable as compared to how it was in the past. So, but come the next 3 months, and this could, if the summer rush takes off, then airlines could be in for a windfall.
Okay. Ajay, let's talk now about, the other factor, and that is with respect to your recent experience in air travel. What have, you've been through when you took a flight recently? What are the requirements, the do's, the don'ts? Tell us everything.
Air travel is actually very similar to as it was back in the day, apart from the added COVID restrictions that we've all been following about for the past 1 year. So you're supposed to arrive at the airport early. You're supposed to display your Arogya Setu or show them or fill up a declaration form. I think one change, it's not a change for me, but it's a change for a lot of people, is that you have to web check in beforehand, so that, once you arrive at the airport, you can show your boarding pass on entry. And beyond that, baggage drop. And then, once you get to once you are boarding the aircraft, you're handed out this sanitation kit, which is required by regulation right now, where you get a face mask, you get the face shield, and you get sanitizers. I think one of the rules that changed over the past, in March 2021 itself, was the fact that airline crew now has more enforceability of the mask and face shield mandate. So people are now wearing their masks and not kind of having arguments with the crew about the necessity of the masks and so on. So But apart from a little bit more of wait time and social distancing at the airport, which unfortunately we don't see at security counters, I think everything is basically remaining the same as it was earlier.
Okay, Ajay, international flight ban has been extended till the 30th of April. So, what are the air bubbles currently in place?
I think one of the bigger, there were two countries. I think one of them included Seychelles. Seychelles is opening up in a big way, I think, given how they've seen the success of Maldives. So if you're vaccinated, you will be able to go to Seychelles now. And Sri Lanka is slated to open up in the near future. I mean, it's open already for some sort of people, but regular commercial flights have not opened to Sri Lanka. These are the two key countries to watch out for. People in India have been making an air dash to Dubai or to Maldives for those who wanted to holiday. I think they will now have the option of going to Seychelles as well in April 2021 onwards. So this is the key change that has happened at this point of time. You now have 27 countries that India has air bubbles with, as compared to 25, which was the state a month back.
Ajay, thanks so much for that. But we're completely out of time now, so we'll have to wrap it up. Thanks for watching.